Good morning, everyone. This is Vance Williams. I'm currently in Seattle, Washington. I want to welcome you to my live trading room. Now, don't worry about these messy charts yet, but quickly, I've been trading and teaching for 10 years now. I'm going to spend about 5 to 10 minutes sharing my observations and thoughts with everyone. Then we'll break away to continue with our members. Now, this is totally live, so if I misspeak or pause for a moment, that's what we get. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I want to do, let me go ahead and set this page up here. First thing I want to do is just talk a little bit about high impact data. We do have a German court ruling out sometime today that might affect the euro movement. To be honest, I'm not really thinking about that. Earlier, we had some data out of the UK that's passed, and for the rest of the day, there's really nothing left for the 5 currencies that we look at. Now, there will be times if I see investors panic, which could cause us to only buy the dollar, and I don't see anything like that happening today. Okay, on the charts, even though fundamentals are suggesting that the world could be okay, I'm personally looking for something a little more reliable. I'm still focused on today and this week. Now, in my experience, traders and investors are still showing up today and making a lot of important decisions. And those decisions can move price up or down regardless of what price has been doing the past few weeks. So I'm going to begin here with the Australian US dollar 30-minute chart because I want to share some insight with you that you've probably never heard before. It's a technique that I developed that helps me to read price action quite well. I call it New Wave Fibonacci drawing. And I teach it in my classes, and what this shows us is where price, it shows us the price waves that we really need to pay attention to, the ones that matter, because there's lots of waves, but there's some that are really important. So again, this is a 30-minute chart, and I'm going to show you that you can't get an accurate read on buyer and seller behavior with this chart. Okay, now, real quickly, just looking at this chart, the trend is down. Now, I like to use moving averages for inexperienced traders. On another session, I'll show you why they're 100% accurate the way we use them. But the faster moving average, the one that changes direction faster, has crossed down under the slower one. This tells us it's in a downtrend. So that's right here. Actually, it crossed down again right here. Okay, now, next, as price was moving down, we had a close down below this key level. That's the red rectangle. And so that's really important. So price is making a move. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in one click here. Get us a little bit closer to it. So I've drawn a fib. This is where you might ordinarily place a fib if you're drawing a fib. And it's showing us that price has made a nice move and might be pulling back in here for a nice push again. Is that really what's happened? Now I want to click over to a 1 minute because what I want to do is I want to zoom in and see information we can't see. I'll demonstrate that to you. Okay, now this is the same rectangular barrier. Take a look at that again. Let me pop back out. See that red barrier? That's on the 30-minute. This is on the 1 minute. So this is the same place where that 30-minute candle came out and started to create that move. And what I'm wanting to point out to you is that as price moves out of that key level, I'm looking at where momentum started. And so let's put a fib right there. Now I want you to take a look. 94.03. Okay, that's the start of the fib on the 1 minute. And now let's go back to the 30, and you'll see it was 94.21. That's about 18 pips of difference. Okay, so that really is a huge difference. All right, now I want you to notice, now if I start the fib where momentum begins, and I stop it here where it stops, price pulls back to 38.2, and that's one of the rules we have with new waves. Does it pull back 38.2 or more? It does. And then it kind of jogs around a little bit and then advances again. So this is one new wave. The new wave finishes here, and then it kind of jogs around a little bit, and then another new wave starts right here. I've got an arrow right on it, and I'm going to put another fib. Let me just let me get rid of that top one, and I'm going to put another fib right here. There we go. Now, look at this. Now watch this. Hits 50% push at 61.8. And then look at this right here. Look at it hit the 76.4 level right there and just turn. So hold on just a second, please. So, you know, you're wondering, does this always behave like this? Yes, it does, if you know how to draw these correctly. And so let's go ahead and follow along here. Moving along, we don't really get another advance, so we just keep that fib in place, and then somewhere about right in here, price starts to just, I call this collapsing the new wave. So it's really reversing right here. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to keep this in place, and I want to move that fib. I'm going to keep it in the same place but move it over, and I'm going to change this to a 5-minute chart. So we're just going to kind of zoom out, and what I want you to notice here is here's where this kind of goes up here and does this, and I want you to see price eventually does advance down again, pulls back, makes another move up, advances again, pulls back, pushes up, and look, it's just in the middle. It's just in the middle. And so what we look for is a clear, just follow my mouse here on the left, we look for a clear price move, a pullback, and a second push, right? Clear price move, pullback, second push. That's what everybody's trading, whether they realize it or not. And once that happens, there's no trade. There's no high probability trade unless you're very experienced, of course. Okay, now watch the same behavior. You know, it's pulled down. It's just going sideways. So there's nothing here. So no matter what system or indicator you've got, you can see there's nothing here. Okay, so that gives you a little insight into how our analysis analysis really helps us to home in on a high probability trade. Okay, now let's take a look at the Euro USD. Let me see. Again, I apologize for this being messy, but the first thing I want to do is show you, we did this yesterday, and we were showing, if you follow my mouse, we were showing red lines here and a red line here. And what it was showing us higher highs and lower lows. Before that, we actually had a channel, and then it just kind of, well, they were making lower lows and higher highs. And so it was a little bit indecisive. And actually, that was here. This hadn't happened yet. And so it comes down, it bounces off this key area, and then shoots up, hits that level, close to it. And here's what I want to point out. Look at this fib, 76.4. Look how it holds. It holds. Look at this. It closes above. So we basically reported, all right, you know, the buyers have a bit of an advantage. Now, you have to watch out for these 76.4 levels, because when the trend's turning around like that, you'll still get a lot of selling interest. And this had such momentum, it didn't really excite the sellers. And so this pulled back, and the trade, the high probability trade, was right in here. So it's right in this move. It's a pullback on the move, and then just grabbing a piece of this move before you get to this resistance. Okay, now today, right now, before we showed up, price closed back above this key level. It does a pullback again, and then it pushes to this other key level. And so where did I get that level? Well, if I zoom out, you're going to see, maybe I did too much there. You're going to see that's the former high of the trend. And what I did is I took the common touch with the former area, and that gives us another key level. And where did price go to? Right there. So so now, where are we at? Well, we've had a strong move, a pullback, another push to a resistance. We've used up all our room. Now we're chopping around. So what can we watch for? Well, we can watch for two things. We can watch for a clear move above this area, look for a strong enough push so we can get balanced entry and exits and good risk to reward. Of course, you got to execute that well too. Or we can look for this intraday trend to turn down with room to move before it hits this area. Okay, let me take a look at the pound here. Take a quick look at the pound 30-minute. All right, so first of all, just reviewing what happened yesterday. It's probably a little smaller right now, but we had a supply line on there, and we basically said, you know, even if it does close above the supply line, which it did, we said there's not a lot of room for it to move, so you'd have to be pretty good to get something out of there, and that's exactly what it did. Now, around European session open, it did push up above here, but then it just dropped back down into this range. And so, this is, close to 100 pips. So what do we look for? Well, we would look for a close or a significant move above 55.91. Again, look for our balanced entry and exits and good execution. And then, or we might look for the intraday trend to change here with enough room, which I think it has, to move to this barrier right there. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I think that about covers that. So again, we'll keep watching this during our live trading session. We'll watch for these elements to come together. That's kind of it for this particular part. If you aren't sure that we do this every day with great accuracy, you can attend the session every day and take a look, and you'll see. I'll be continuing with members in just a moment. If you'd like to join us, I'm going to do something that I've never done before. Let me see if I can find a picture. I took a shot of my website. I'm going to put that up there for you guys. Just go to our website, forexartofwar.com. You might be on that now. And look for this area right here, Ultimate Training, right there. Now here's the cool part. We haven't added the price of our trading rooms in yet. So if you join now, you get the trading rooms and the entire program for the same low price, all guaranteed. You're going to love it. So you can join us for our next session tomorrow. Team members, hold on while I shift out of the public room, and thank you, everyone.